Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel and welcome to this month's KTRT review. Yes, my latest Korean toy purchase has just arrived today and yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? Right, so I did have a bit of bother getting this figure out of 11th Street, the Korean website that I bought it from. I'm not going to go into the details of what exactly happened until the end of the month bot haul. So needless to say, I ended up paying more for it than I intended to, but overall, luckily it came through UK customs scot-free, and yeah, I still got it for a reasonable price. And when you see how big and impressive this figure is, you'll see, well, you'll say, right, it's well worth the money I paid for it. So, who have I got today? Well, I've got a figure from one of the more recent series of Hello Carbot, season 9, because they're on to season 10 now. These new crash combiner thingies, and it's like season 10 just season 9 just came and went in a flash, and it's a God knows what them designers are doing on that show. But anyway, what they did was basically years ago, the original Hello Carbot toy line, season 1, had this guy in it. This is Storm, and he is part of the big combiner that was in season 1 called Pentastorm. As you can see, he's got a big blue truck, nice and shiny, and he's like the core bot of the combiner. And I've got him here for a size comparison with his rebooted counterpart. So what I've got today is the latest rendition of Storm, Storm X. So basically what they did in season 9 was they rehashed a bunch of the characters from season 1, gave them new sort of alt and robot modes, and called them, Hello Carbot X characters or X figures, and they're part of the new Pentastorm X combiner. I've recently got Dandy X or Ambulance X. I've done a review on him. In fact, I've got him here in combiner foot mode, ready for later on. Yeah, right. So before I get on to actually showing you the figure, let's have a quick look at the box. And being a big combiner character, it's absolutely massive box, as you can see. It's got the plastic window and the clamshell inside. It's got all the product information on the back. It's got all the stuff on the back that show the different characters that make up the combiner. It's got it's got Chatan with the watch that he has on his wrist, which there's actually a little accessory that comes that goes with that. And then it's just the usual sort of pictures. Very big, bulky box, and when it's got the figure in, it weighs quite a bit, and if you want to get one of these shipped from Korea, it's going to cost you a small fortune, as I found out this month to my cost. Anyway, so here is Storm in his new truck mode. As you can see, he's a big blue truck with lots of sort of silver and chromey bits on, nice chrome wheels. It's got some nice sort of white stripes down the side, got wing mirrors, quite a bit of moulding detail. It's got like tail lights, transparent lights on the front. Very impressive looking vehicle. Now, put him next to his sort of like G1 original, so to speak. They're roughly about the same size. I mean, looking at them underneath, you can see sort of robot bits, and then looking at them on top, and then round the back, you can see the knees sticking out. Now, one of my gripes with this figure, and it is a very minor gripe, is the wheel arrangement. Now, you've got the front wheels here, and you've got 3 pairs of wheels at the front and 1 pair of wheels at the back. Now, look at the original Storm, and he's got 2 steering wheels, 2 driving wheels. And this is, he's like a typical sort of bulk, 8-legger bulk tipper, 8-wheel bulk tipper. Now this guy seems to be like a similar sort of thing, but for some reason they've moved this pair of wheels forwards, and I don't know why they've done that. So it gives it this really unusual wheel arrangement. Now I'm sure there's trucks going around with 3 axles at the front and 1 at the rear, but personally I think I would have preferred it to look more like that, with the axles more evenly spaced than all bunched up at the front. But that's just a minor gripe of mine. This thing is super heavy. He's really heavy. Actually, I weighed him because I wanted to see how heavy he was, and he weighed in at like 910 grams. So he's just shy of a kilo of plastic here, and he's very, very solid. Nice, nice shiny Korean plastic, as we know. He's got I don't know whether they're pinned wheels or not. I can't see a pin on them, but they probably are pinned. Oh yeah, they've got separate wheel caps, so that they're pinned. They always have pinned wheels on these. It rolls extremely well. He does have weapon storage. He has a sword, which plugs into the bottom of his vehicle mode. Now, slight gripe with the sword. If you look on the box art, you can see the sword has got yellow paint around the serrations around the edge of the sword, and for some reason they chose not to paint the sword. Okay, so that's a bit of a gripe. Again, very minor gripe. I mean, you could quite easily paint it yourself if you so wished. But it's got weapon storage. It plugs in on the underside of the vehicle mode. So the vehicle doesn't do much more than look sort of impressive. Lots of rolly wheels. Big heavy truck. Before we get any further, obviously he does come with a set of instructions. They're black and white, but they're fairly clear. One set shows how to transform him from truck to robot mode, or vice versa, and the other set shows how to combine him into a combiner mode. And he also comes with the little chip. It's a little box with a chip in it, which, as is seen here, Chatan, the kid, has got it on his wrist, and he's got a little slot in it in the watch. You plug it in and it does lights and sounds, and it makes sound clips from the show and all that stuff. I don't have the watch, so I can't do it, but it comes with one of those little activator chips. Right, so truck mode. Yeah, we've seen the truck. It's big, it's heavy, it's impressive. Right, so let's transform this thing, shall we? It has got quite an involved transformation, but it's very intuitive, very similar to the original one in many ways. But to start off with, you have these little things on the side which you flip out, and then that basically, and then you can flip those out as well, and that unlocks the front of the vehicle mode, and then you can fold that up like that for now. Then you can bring the arms out to the side, fold them wheels forward. Now these wing bits here, you don't really need them for his base robot mode. They're mainly for the combiner mode, so we're going to take these off for the minute. They do peg on very securely onto the back of his truck or his robot mode, but when you plug them together into a shield later on, they don't clip together quite so well. So then this whole section starts tilting back. Then you get the legs. Split them. Some of these pegs do peg together extremely hard. I'll fold them down. Feet, clip them down, and then on a joint that and then they sort of fold forwards a little bit. Then, right, so you start bringing this back, and then you lift this up to bring that back till it clicks, and then just fold that down, and ratchet the shoulders up, bring the arms down, rotate the elbows forward, and there we go. There is Storm X in robot mode, and wow, this guy is seriously impressive. Let's do the size comparisons before we go any further. Now, my usual size comparison when I'm doing Korean toy reviews is Combiner Wars Megatron, and now he's a full-on, leader class figure, and as you can see, this guy is massive by comparison. So I've got another big figure down for a size comparison. Mastermind Creations reformatted Carnifex, and as you can see, he's about the same size as Carnifex. So yeah, so if these guys were going to go toe to toe, I think he'd give Overlord a run for his money. But we all know what an evil bastard Overlord is, and yeah, I think that's a fight even Storm X wouldn't win. But anyway, I suppose you want to see what he looks like next to original Storm. You'll just give me a moment to transform him. Right, okay, so quick transformation later. There he is next to the original Storm character. He's slightly bigger than the original figure, but not by much. But yeah, like I said, the transformation is largely the same, with a few sort of bells and whistles. Aesthetically, they've both got this. I mean, the original Storm has got these weird sort of really bulky shoulders. He's got his arms down there, and Storm X has got a similar sort of deal going on. Now, as you can see, this guy is absolutely blathered in paint. He's actually covered in colours. He has the dark blue colour, which is his main colour. He also has quite a lot of white. He has the now you've got the robot mode. You can see a lot more colours have come out. You've got the red, you've got the silver, you've got the black and the yellow, and he's very, very well painted. I have noticed a few smudgy sort of paint apps in a few places, but nothing too bad. Most of the paint is fairly well applied. Other minor sort of QC issues, he's got like a bit of a, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a little scuff on there, and there's some scratch somewhere, there's a scratch on his grill, and a few little nicks here and there, but apart from that, he looks absolutely amazing. He's got a wealth of sort of moulding detail in a lot of other places. I mean, you look at him from the back, apart from the cab hanging out, which the original Storm had as well. So again, the engineering on the mould is very, very similar. He's a fairly clean bot, and again, the weight of this thing is so heavy and totally solid. Now, the thing that has impressed me by far the most about this character, I mean, yeah, he's big, he's heavy, he's solid, is his articulation. Now, Toybots or Korean figures in general aren't known for being the most articulated figures out there. I mean, the original Storm, for instance. Now, he does have thigh swivels, no waist joint. He does have bicep swivels, and his head is on a swivel going from side to side. He's actually one of the more better articulated sort of figures out there, but a lot of Korean figures, they don't have what I refer to as an intermediate articulation. That's, you know, like waist joints, ankle tilts, thigh swivels, bicep swivels. Some of them don't even have head rotations or stuff like that. So, but yet, you know, a Transformers figure, you know, it's got, you know, it's got all that stuff, you know, pretty much for granted. So Korean toys have got a long way to go to meet the sort of articulation that you get on a Transformers toy. However, this guy, this has got to be one of the most articulated Korean toys I've ever had. Now, start off with, you got the head rotation, but it's on a ball joint, so it's got a little forwards and backwards, even a little bit of side-to-side waggle, so it's got a ball-jointed head with a decent range of motion. Shoulders. Now, this guy's got some very loud ratchets on him. Go all the way round. Yes, due to the engineering on this guy, you know, he's got these weird sort of bulky shoulders. His actual shoulder is a bit lower down than where it would normally be, but it's the same with the other one as well. So that goes all the way around. Now, he does have a joint there as well, which does that. I'm not quite sure what that's for, but he has got, the arm can go up like that. Now, he's got a bicep swivel. Now that's unusual. I mean, Carbots are known for having thigh swivels, but not bicep swivels, so that is definitely something that is unusual on this guy. He's got 90-degree ratcheted elbow bend. And this is where things get interesting. He's got fist rotations, fist swivels. Okay. He also got a waist joint, right? His hips go forwards, go back. Got a decent spread. Again, very loud ratchets. He's got thigh swivels. The knees, he's got a 90-degree on the ratchet and then a transformation joint, which gives him a deep knee bend. And then we get down to the feet. He's got ankle rockers, and the foot can also go backwards and forwards as well. So he's got all the basic articulation and all the intermediate articulation as well. So he's got, shoulders, elbows, hips and knees, but he's also got, head, waist, biceps, fist, thigh and ankle movement as well. So absolutely blown away by how much articulation this guy has got. And as you can hear, he's got lots of really loud, solid ratchets. The ratchets on his hips are a bit fiddly to get him into position because they're a bit coarse. Haven't got many clicks to go from one to another, and when you're doing them in reverse, they do tend to jar up a little bit. But apart from that, you can't complain at the articulation this guy has got. So that's what we've got. Now, he does have the accessories. He has these shoulder pieces which are part of the combiner mode. Now they do plug together. Not very well, I have to add. And then you can stick them on his arm. I've turned the arm sideways and he's got two pegs there. Now getting this thing to stick on here is a bit of a game because the two pieces want to separate when you're doing it. But that then come on. I don't know whether it's just my version, but this shield does not want to stay together properly. But anyway, you can hold the shield, and the sword has got like a groove in it. Now, in his normal robot mode fists, he's got like a slot, and the sword just fits in there securely, and because he's got a wrist swivel, he can wield the sword any which way you want. So he can work with his accessories quite well. Just the only thing that this shield has a job holding together. Yeah, so what can you say? He does have one extra feature. Because he's a combiner, he turns into combiner form. So let's go into that quickly. So basically with the legs, you basically fold up the feet like you're going into truck mode, like that. You then take this top section of the truck and bring it round. You then bring this out, and then you bring out the combiner head. So you unplug this bit, bring it round, that then plugs into the back, and that brings out his combiner head. And then you've got these bits that were on the shield. They clip onto the back of his shoulders to give him wings. Like so. And there he is, basically in combiner mode. So all I need now is the 4 limbots to go on to complete the combiner. Unfortunately, I only have one of them so far, and that is Dandy here. Now, Dandy is one of the leg bots. What you do, you have a little peg on the end which goes into this slot here. Now, plugging this in is a bit of a mission, because you then have this thing that this bit plugs into the back of the leg, and getting it to line up is tricky. But when it finally plugs in, it's really, really solid connection. So there is Dandy as a foot. Ace goes on the other side, and then you have Fron or Prawn as one arm and Sky as the other. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the other limbs to do the full combiner, even though, you know, he does look fairly impressive so far with what I've got. I am going to get Ace at some point, so at least I'll have the 2 foot bits. The others, I'm very much on the fence about getting them, because I don't care much for their aesthetics, to be honest. But we'll have to see if I can get them for a reasonable price, and then I might think about getting them. But aside from that, that is it. That's been my review of this guy, Hello Carbot's Storm X, who forms part of the Pentastorm X combiner. He is amazing. He is awesome. Like I said, I mean, there's people on eBay selling this thing for over £100 plus postage. But this thing is very big. He's very impressive. He's very heavy. He's very well made. He's got pretty much all the joints you could ever want, you know, and I would say he's worth £100. I mean, I paid just over, well, about 85, 86 quid for him all up. So yeah, I mean, he retails for about 50 quid in Korea, but, you know, good luck trying to get one at that price. But he is a really, really good figure. He is awesome. A really cool update on the original. And so yeah, I can thoroughly recommend getting one if you can get one at a decent price. But aside from that, I've been TFR Wilderness. Thank you for watching my review, and I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.